Hey guys, appreciate y'all being with us today. Thanks for covering our program, our team, and our players. Really want to thank the Troy fans that made the trip up to Boone. We had a really good group show up to support our team, and grateful for our fan base as a whole. Really, just wrapping up our game last week. Really hurts the way the game finished. Our players were hurt, and they deserve to feel that way because they've invested a lot into this to improve and get to where we want to be and get closer to where we want to be. And so they have every right to feel hurt, and I hurt for them, not for me but for them, because they've done a lot of things that we've asked them to do that are new and different to try to close the gap from maybe where we've been to where we want to go. We played a really good football game against a really good football team. And the end of the game did not go the way we wanted. And so sick over that for our players, and want to address that on the front end. If you have questions about detailed game situations, I will gladly answer them after I announce players of the game and some other things, because I have no problem getting into the details of some of that stuff. Players of the game, offensive player of the game, Jabri Barber, 6 catches, 42 yards. Maybe not the biggest stat line he'll ever have, but made a couple of really competitive, tough, gritty catches. Jabri's also been playing well in special teams. He did a good job in the kick return game for us. He has practiced outstanding all spring, all summer, all training camp, all preseason. Therefore, that's a lot of why he's played the way he's played. He's playing high-level football for us, and really proud of his growth. Defensive player of the game, Buda Jones, 2 tackles, 2 assists. But really, at the nose position in our defense, he disrupted the offensive line all game on Saturday and controlled the line of scrimmage for us. And then special teams player of the game, really proud of this guy, Phillip Lee, a bandit for us. He was the runner-up in the vote for special teams player of the game a week ago, and then came back this week and earned that recognition. I mean this when I say it. Almost every person he contacted on his job within the game went to the ground on special teams. Like, he played the game with physical mindset and effort and attitude. Really excited to watch his continued growth. I think Phillip's got a huge upside. Scout player of the week or job taker, like I told you guys in week 1, job taker of the week for us on our defensive scout team was Luke Hodge from Aniana, Alabama. Offensive job taker of the week was Jackson Blaylock. And special teams job taker of the week on the scout team was Carlos Crawford. Those 3 guys served our team tremendously well in game prep for the App State game. And then service award for the week in Corey McCullers, the Spirit Award. Service award is Nathan Harris and John Johnson. I got it backwards there, but Nathan Harris, John Johnson. Service award is Richard Jubinor. Rich did a great job on the trip. Usually when we play home games, our guys would go out into the community and serve throughout the week, maybe at schools locally. This week, with a road trip being a shorter week, Richard on the trip did some things to serve in regards to cleaning up in the locker room, the hotel, the airplane, some things that stood out. And then the Spirit Award that is named after Corey is KJ Robertson. KJ battled through an injury, played really well in the game, played a lot of snaps, and really fought to get back to be able to play this week. So those are our 2 awards that we reintroduced last week. And so proud of what those guys brought to the team in their capacity that had nothing to do maybe with playing the game or how they played the game, but more about how they handled their business. So really proud of those guys. And then getting ready for a really quality opponent in Marshall. They're as talented as we're going to see. That you look across the field when they played Notre Dame, that was not a fluke. App State, very well coached team, very good team, great O-line. Marshall, very explosive athletically. Like, when you watch them, their skill position players on offense are dynamic. The Rasheen Ali kid who led the country in touchdowns last year in FBS football, he had 23 touchdowns, has been out for a couple weeks. He was back at practice for him last week. Probably anticipate him playing this week is how we have to prepare. He has not played yet this year, but was the NCAA leader in touchdowns last year. The young man that has been starting for him, number 8, LeBourne, he has been a monster so far this season. He's been playing the game at a really high level. So really quality running backs, quarterbacks completing the ball at 77% completion percentage right now, which is really at the top end of the spectrum in college football right now. Talik Keaton, a wide receiver, number 1, dynamic playmaker. Number 7, Corey Gamage, a big-bodied receiver who competes for the ball and runs good. The tight end has been a starter the last several years. Four of their starting O-linemen played like starter snaps last year, whether they started the game or not. Every game, they all had like 300 or more snaps on the year, with a couple of them being full-time starters. So really quality offensive outfit, and then defensively, edge rusher number 32, Kobe is a really good player. 55, their boundary outside guy. Field outside guy. Owen Porter, number 55, plays with a high motor. Number 20, Andre Sam, their nickel. I think is as good of a defensive player as I've seen on video this season so far. He's a real deal player. Corners are good players. Safety number 4 is a really good player too. So they're a good football team. We got a lot of work to do to get ready for them. We got to get up off the mat and bounce back. I got no doubt that we will. I'm confident that our guys will respond. We got a tough bunch that will be ready to go on Saturday. So with that, I'll open it up to questions.
Coach, you talked about, Coach, Carlton Marshall wasn't in the game. How did that change? What was the difference dynamic on the third side of the ball for that game against App State?
What was the different dynamic with him not playing in the game, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Carlton is a very experienced player who knows our defensive system really well, and on top of that, happens to be one of the best tacklers I've ever been around. So I do think there were some things at times where we allowed some leaky yardage. We made contact, and that was one area where I think we have to improve quickly is, week 1 we didn't leverage the ball great at times. We did at times this game, but not as consistent as I'd like. We did not tackle as physical and knock the ball carrier back as much as we needed to. Well, Carlton's pretty good at that, so he was missed. But that's on. We got a next man up mentality around here. Hated that Carlton couldn't play, but we've got to improve as a whole unit in tackling the ball carrier. Carlton was on the trip with us. You're only allowed to take 70 to a conference game. I felt like Carlton Marshall, not dressed out in pads, means so much to our team that I was going to have him there either way. But we did miss him. I think he's got a really good chance of being available this week, but a lot of that we'll see how the week goes. I don't know for sure yet.
Coach, you talked about it a little bit after the game on Saturday, but just walk us through those final 30 seconds, the decision to go for it, our decision to take the safety there, and just that final play against Al.
Yeah, no, great questions and all stuff that I want to talk about. No different than we went for the touchdown right before halftime, right, and got it, and I'm a genius for that call. And if we didn't get it, I'm the village idiot, right? So it all works out on did the call go good or did it not usually. But taking the safety I still do think that's the right call. Looking back at it, I respect a lot of my peers, and I've talked to several other Division I head coaches, and after really reviewing the situation, the clock, et cetera, we were able to get 10 seconds run off the clock by taking the safety. So 5 seconds, which really, depending on how the clock looked, it could have been questionable on exact timing, but it ended up being 5 seconds. And then we kicked the ball off, 5 seconds again. That's what the clock ended up reading after that. So you took 10 seconds off by taking the safety. And you also got them maybe We got them at the minus 47-yard line, so on the other side of the field. After that kick, when we hit the kick, I did not coach the kicker well enough on how we wanted the kick to be hit. We call that a victory kick. It's not a true squib. It's also not a sky kick where they can fair catch it and preserve the clock. It's a kick that's supposed to be very line drive oriented, but pushed way down the field to where they have to field it deep because it's on the ground. They can't fair catch it. We get the clock to run, and we also push the ball down the field. So we got saved maybe a little bit by the high hop on the kick. We got lucky there. But I didn't coach the kick well enough. That's on me, not on our kicker. And so if they had, after that scenario, beat us on a field goal because we were only up 2 after taking a safety, then that would have been a bad decision. Clock-wise, it helped us to take the safety, then use the kick on a free kick, as opposed to getting an all-out 10-man or 11-man block where you may not be able to protect the punt. I don't know if you remember the Michigan State game several years ago. That cost them the game. I believe it was Michigan that lost the game, and Michigan State got the ball. So I study these situations. It's what I do a lot. I don't regret taking the safety. I do wish I'd have coached our kicker better on how to hit the kick after the safety. That's on me, not on him. I can promise you that. Anything that we did wrong in the game is not on our players. It's on me. But if they'd have beaten us by kicking a field goal, then taking the safety is the wrong call. They didn't beat us by kicking a field goal. We knew they tried after they got the ball to work our sideline. They went 3-by-1 into the boundary. They did the same thing against North Carolina. We had watched it on video, so we called cloud coverage, and we had a chance to pick the ball off. We catch that ball, game's over. But once again, sometimes you make the play, sometimes you don't. The biggest regret I have out of the whole process there at the end of the game is I just wish I'd have coached our kicker on how to kick the kickoff better. But that's my mistake, not his.
Hey, Coach, just Jamal over at WCFA in Montgomery. Just to follow up on that, because you did pour so much, physically, emotionally, and mentally into this game, how do you rebound and again get ready for Marshall coming into the vet on Saturday?
Well, they're not going to feel sorry for us. I mean, they lost a tough game too, and we've been saying the term around here. So what now? What is kind of what I've been telling our team the last few weeks. Like, okay, we lost the game. I can't change last Saturday, and quite honestly, today I can't change this Saturday yet because Saturday's a little bit of ways out for us. All I can do is help our team get better on this Monday. I think it's September the 19th. All right, and I'm going to work all day to help our team improve from what we didn't do well last Saturday to get ready for the game this Saturday. And college football, you get 12 regular season opportunities. Man, if you don't have excitement and passion and enthusiasm about each and every one of those opportunities, then you should probably do something else because they don't come very often. And our kids work, our players work tremendously hard all year round for these opportunities. I don't think we'll have a problem getting them ready to play, but I'm gonna do some things this week that there ain't gonna be no moping going on in our building. I promise you that. I hurt for our kids, but we're not gonna mope around. I might act like a wild man at practice this week, but we're not going to mope around. I still hurt for them, but nobody cares right now.
Hey, John, I was just curious. Have you ever been a part of a game, an ending like that as either a player or a coach?
You hadn't done research on my background, John. I was a redshirt freshman at the University of Kentucky at the Bluegrass Miracle. So, yeah. And I got Guy Morris, who just passed not long ago, this past month. Was the head coach. John Goodner was the defensive coordinator. John Goodner, he passed several years ago as well. Larry Hofer was the safeties coach. I'll never forget. I got a text from Coach Hofer yesterday. Coach Hofer is a great man. He's the only of those three still living. But Coach Goodner was the defensive coordinator, and Coach Hofer was the safeties coach. And that next team meeting on Sunday, Coach Goodner got up in front of the entire team, and Coach Hofer reminded me this. Coach Goodner got up in front of the team and said, "Hey, guys, it's not your fault. That last play, it's not y'all's fault." And Coach Goodner said, "Do you want to know whose fault it is?" And we were all like, "Yeah, whose fault is it?" And he said, "It's Coach Hofer's fault." And Coach Goodner had a funny way about him. Him and Coach Hofer had coached together a long time. He did that to just lighten the mood, and we all hurt. It stinks. I think maybe having some experience with that helps me understand how to work through it. I might go in and tell our team today it's Coach Hofer's fault, but I don't think they'll understand what that means.
Did y'all meet yesterday, or what was yesterday like for y'all?
Yeah, so yesterday's just really for our players. It's their day off. They come to take care of themselves in the training room. They go to do some academic things. They might stop by and say hello to us in our office, but we don't do any football activity. I mean, it's really just to make sure that they're getting on their academics. We use Sundays for a rest day, a rehab day, an academic day, and then we get into football game plan, get the last game out, get the next game going today.
Hey, Coach, it's Josh the Messenger. You mentioned Carlton's status, but other than him, do you have any updates on a couple guys? I know Eric Shaw looked a little banged up at one point.
Yeah, he got a little shot that knocked him out of the game on the kickoff cover. He's responding really well. He looked good today. I don't know for sure on him. There's several guys that, we're in that phase of the year right now where, like, it's so early in the week. There's a couple guys that I don't know yet. DeOncre, I think, is probably still out, it looks like, for the foreseeable future. Don't know for sure. won't know on DeOncre officially until probably Thursday, because they're going to go in and take a look deeper at some of the stuff going on with him. So I think I'll know on him on Thursday. A couple other guys. Jaden McDonald's a little banged. Louis Medina's a little bit banged. That they're getting looked at today by the doctors, Dr. Dugas, and that group does a great job for us. So they're getting checked out. We'll know more probably tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, kind of as the week progresses, who's available and who's not. But we're at the time of the year where everybody's got some guys out, and you can't, not to be desensitized to all of it, but it's next man up, I feel for the guys who are out. We got to get the next guy ready to play.
Coach, despite the ending on Saturday, what positives do you take away from that game? Because start to finish, you guys really played your best game of the season.
Yeah, that's a great question. I appreciate that, Justin. The last 3 seasons Troy played App, I brought this up last week, it was 104-30, those 3 games combined, 46.6 to 10, right? I think we played them the 11th game here last year, and the score was 45-7 here at home, all right? We went on the road, hostile environment, college game day, et cetera, and I think everybody said we had no chance. All the experts, and we were right there the fourth quarter with 1 play left to win the game, and so I think that shows you growth from game 11 of last year to game 3 of this year. Now we got to find some consistency and do it again. Our goal here is not to play App State close. I didn't come back to Troy to check off the box, play close with App State. That's not our goal. But I do think it shows growth. I really liked, it's going to sound crazy. We throw the pick, first play of the game on offense, and everybody's probably thinking, oh, my gosh, the sky is falling. Man, our sideline, everybody looking around, good, next play. Okay, next play. We've got sort of a mantra, like I've said, so what? So what? Now what? Now what? A lot. Our mantra around here too. When bad stuff happens, good. Gives me a chance to learn and improve and get better. I don't back down from mistakes. You embrace them. You learn from them. You improve. And so, I think the way our guys responded to the start not going our way was very encouraging. We still played really average. Like we didn't play even close to what I think is our best. So that's encouraging. But those are the things that I'll hold on to from that game, and I think we can build upon.
Hey, Coach, how'd you like the way you guys ran the ball? You had a couple big runs there. Of course, DK's touchdown run there in the first half.
Yeah, I thought we showed some signs of life there. We still have to become more consistent, more detailed in what we're doing. I did think DK really ran the ball effectively and flashed. Kamani had a couple of good runs. I think there was a couple more runs in there that were a shoestring ankle tackle away from busting off some longer yardage stuff, which means we're getting close. I think probably from an offensive identity standpoint, that's probably been the most challenging transition that we're making from how we're trying to play the game is last several years probably more of an air raid-ish mindset. And obviously we're throwing the ball really good right now. Our receivers are playing a high level. Gunner's getting it out pretty good. So the pass game has been really effective. I think in order to become the type of program we want to be where year in, year out we're competing for conference championships, you've got to run the ball better than we're running it. And we will. Trust me, we're trying to be creative and find as many different ways as we can create positive opportunities for our players, and we'll get there. But we are asking our O-line to play the game significantly different than what it's been asked to do previously.
John, could you expound on that a little bit about the offensive line, asking them to play differently?
Yeah, we're Coach Pop and the way we want to play the game, we're more of a run off the ball, move the line of scrimmage type team from a mindset standpoint. So, when you're even how you pass protect, like when you're sometimes in maybe a throw it every down team and you may vertical set on the O line and you're kind of you're slowly losing the pass rush, but you're just kind of absorbing it. We're trying to change how we play the game and be a little bit more attacking, more aggressive, more physical, take the fight to their team a little bit more. And so not only does that task you with technique change, physical change, mindset change, it's a mental change. I mean, it is a approach to how you play the game differently. And so that's it's very new for some of these guys. They haven't done it yet since we got here, and we're working on it. I think one thing you're seeing us do a good job of offensively as a staff, and I met with our offensive staff last Sunday and Monday a lot about it, was as we're on our track to get there, where do we have to stop in between to get there? So, I respect how App State runs the ball. I really do. On our way to becoming that kind of a team that can run the football that way, what stops do we have to make during our progression to get to that place is currently where we're at.